What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today we're going to be checking out some Battlefield 1 gameplay, courtesy of my live stream over on Twitch, which I do live stream every single day, starting around 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you guys want to check that stuff out, the link to my channel is down in the description. Today, we are actually going to be playing some Vanguard over on stream as well, since, it is a free week, so anybody can go ahead and download Vanguard right now. So I thought it would be cool to go ahead and host some open lobbies, allow everybody to join in. We might even go ahead and play some custom matches, just, get everybody to pile into one game and see what we can do to have a little bit of fun in that game, because clearly pub matches aren't the most exciting thing in the world. So if you guys want to partake in that, by all means, like I said, go down to the link in the description, go to my Twitch channel, hit me up, you can add me, and we'll get some lobbies running all day long. But ladies and gentlemen, I was going ahead and scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a post by Temporal. For anybody who doesn't know him, he's a data miner, mainly for the Battlefield franchise. And he put out a tweet that kind of concerned me a little bit, because it confirms what I said a couple of videos ago. If you guys don't remember, I made a video specifically talking about Portal, and how I thought, still to this day, the concept of this game mode is phenomenal. But knowing how EA is, if it's not an instant success, if it doesn't blow up in the blink of an eye like how Warzone did or Apex Legends did, they completely cut the idea altogether. We've seen multiple examples of this Hazard Zone currently going on in Battlefield 2042. Absolutely nothing has been said towards that game mode. I mean, Hazard Zone was supposed to be the main campaign plot for Battlefield 2042. They completely stripped the campaign out of the game. They said Hazard Zone was going to be the campaign, and they still have done nothing towards it. Once again, proof that EA cuts off things that don't succeed in the blink of an eye. Same thing with Firestorm. We all know what happened there. They released Firestorm in Battlefield 5. Absolute huge, massive flop of a game mode, even though it had a kind of cool concept behind it. I love the Ring of Fire as well. I thought that was the coolest concept for, the zone that's closing in on you. That was definitely the best way to do things. But regardless, wasn't an instant success? Guess what happens? They absolutely cut it out of production. It's just what EA does. And I said in the video a couple of days ago that I was worried that since Portal didn't pop off right away, it's not going to get the support that we as the community truly want it to see. And if we go over here on this tweet by Temporal, he went ahead and said, internal names of 3 additional unreleased maps in Battlefield 2042. Drained, Lights Out, Docklands. Docklands might be another remake of an existing Battlefield map for Portal. No further info, images, or launch windows available. Updated map overview. And then he goes ahead and shows a few of the images. We already saw the first map. I believe it's called, Ridge or Exposure. It was supposed to be called Ridge, but for the final name, they changed it to Exposure. That is rumored to be the first map that we see with Season 2. But also, I don't know when they're going to be coming out, because they only said one map is coming with Season 2. Maybe it's going to be a mid-season update or something like that, or maybe it's released maybe for Season 3. I don't know what's going on, but there's going to be 2 more maps, Drained and Lights Out, which are going to be coming into the game. And then, like I said, one singular Portal map. Now, we don't know what it's going to be because they don't have a legitimate name for it. It's not going to be, a copy and paste of what we saw before from these previous Battlefield titles, but a singular map for Portal. You see, one of the biggest problems for me when it comes to Portal is that it doesn't have enough content to make it replayable. And yeah, it does come down to the community not creating any awesome game modes. That would definitely help in the long run. But right now, for the people who are still playing Battlefield 2042, since, the majority of the people already left, but for the people who are still playing it, since there are no cool game modes and Portal isn't free to play, so nobody can come in and make anything awesome, the only reason people play this game mode is to, get some nostalgia. Basically play a quote-unquote remaster. Now, it sucks because it's not a remaster, because it plays exactly like 2042, which ruins the overall Portal scheme, which is why a lot of people have left Portal as well. But at the end of the day, that's why people revisit it. So they can specifically play games like Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, anything of that sort. Even though it's on a new engine, it plays like 2042, it's still the old school classes and the old school maps and stuff like that. It's awesome. But there's not enough content in Portal to keep it alive. And here we are. We don't even know when this Portal map is going to release, because it's not releasing with Season 2. Like I said, Season 2 is releasing with one map, a singular map for us. That's it, Exposure. So this Portal map isn't even planned to release at the beginning of Season 2, which means how long are we going to be waiting for this to be introduced into the game? Once again, proving that EA cuts off absolutely anything in their games that is not successful within the first week to a month. And shoot, even put Portal aside, these 3 maps that are coming into the original Battlefield 2042 game, this is nowhere near being close enough to the amount of content this game needs to be replayable yet. Look at this tweet right here by Westy. He makes a fantastic point. amount of post-launch maps for Battlefield games delivered by roughly 5 months after launch. So these are all the Battlefield games 5 months after launch. This is how much content was introduced into the titles. Battlefield 3, 4 maps. Battlefield 4, 12 maps. Battlefield 1, 5 maps. Battlefield 5, 2 maps. Battlefield 2042, 0 maps. Now, this is a huge freaking problem. It shouldn't be going in the opposite direction. Honestly, how does this even happen? Obviously, it comes down to the live service method. You're getting free content, so we're going to give you less of it. You know, this was introduced with Battlefield 5, and it shows right there. I mean, Battlefield 1 going to Battlefield 5, it went from 5 to 2. You know, and then from Battlefield 5 to 2042, it went from 2 to 0. It's absolutely ridiculous. But with this list aside, there's no way these 3 maps are going to get people to come back and play your title consistently, especially when there's only going to be 1 map released at Season 1. Now, if they released all 3 of them as a bundle right when Season 1 dropped, then maybe, just maybe, it would be a different story. You know, maybe the community would be a little bit more, you know, lenient with this. I would, at least. If they said, okay, we're going to give you 3 maps at Season 1 instead of 1, I would be pretty darn, not happy, but I would be pleased with what they have presented. But they're not. We're getting 1 map, and God only knows when these 2 other maps are going to be put into production. And on top of that, you have to keep in mind that the development team is completely reworking all of the current maps that are in production right now. So every base map that was in 2042 is getting completely remodeled. Now, it's not going to be as hard as making a map from scratch. You know, all they're doing is just adding cover and changing the, you know, different patterns and paths. But what this does do is changes their mindset on what their future DLC maps are going to be like as well. If they design their DLC maps exactly how they design their base maps, thinking ahead of time that, oh yeah, you know, this game is going to be fantastic, people are going to love it, and then it backfires, that means not only do they have to completely rework all the current maps in the selection, but they also have to rework their DLC maps, and they don't even know if reworking their DLC maps are going to, you know, turn out good for the community, because we haven't playtested them yet, we haven't seen them yet, we don't even know how they work. So basically with this knowledge, we know for a fact none of these other DLC maps are going to be launching at Season 1. So, 5 months after the launch of 2042, I'm going to read them off again. Battlefield 3, 4 maps. Battlefield 4, 12 maps. Battlefield 1, 5 maps. Battlefield 5, 2 maps. And Battlefield 2042, still 0 maps. We've got about 2 more months. So we'll say 7 months after launch, we will have 1 map. We will have 1 DLC map in about 7+ months after launch. And in a game where the campaign was completely stripped out, so a whole massive chunk, a segment of what the dollar price tag on this game is worth is already stripped out of the game and replaced with 2 other game modes, these 2 other game modes, which are supposed to represent, you know, 2 massive chunks of the overall $60 price tag of the game, have no content even closely being planned for the overall future of those 2 different modes. Hazard Zone, already dead, and only 1 map is rumored for Portal, and it's not even coming at the beginning of Season 1. We don't even know when it's going to be introduced. At this rate, you have successfully, DICE, you have successfully killed off this game. And everybody always tells me, well, JB, it's good to be this way. You know, you want the game fixed before they add in content. It's very crucial. You know, you don't want them scheming you or ripping you off. And I agree with you. But if you think about it, games like Battlefield 4, which is known to be one of the best Battlefield games, if not the best Battlefield game in the whole franchise, started off as the buggiest mess in the whole world. But they still released 12 DLC content maps, which you did have to purchase. These weren't free. You had to purchase. So while the game was buggy, glitchy, and a mess, you coughed up money for DLC content in the game to play. So I don't want to hear how many bugs Battlefield 2042 has. It's only because it's live service. That's the only reason they're not releasing anything to us. If we were paying for these maps, you best believe this game could be the buggiest, worst thing in the whole universe. There would be 20 maps coming out right now if we had to pay for it. The only reason they're not doing anything for us is because it's free. That's why. There's no excuse for any of this nonsense. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button if you hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so: Twitter and Discord, both linked in the down description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.